and this great news for Orange County residents across the board. Very happy about what we're seeing in Orange County. We got so much news to get to today, and very happy, Anthony, that you and I get a chance to be able to do this together. We've got some interviews coming up. In fact, on Friday, I think we have somebody coming in on Friday, but I think other than that, we're going to give the people what they want, which is just a good conversation between you and I about what is going on across the country, and more specifically, what exactly has been going on here in the greater Orlando area. If it's your first time joining the show, you got Anthony behind the camera over there. Anthony.
Hey, everyone.
There we go. On cue. You've got me in front of the camera. Today, we're trying a first form energy. Ooh. Ice cold, straight from the 7-Eleven next door, everyone, because we're going to need some energy to get into everything that is going on. I just want to say this. Awesome. There's some great news here. If you are a fan of this show, you follow this show, we appreciate each and every one of you very much. I want you to know we've got a win last night, and not a win for this show, but rather for Orange County. Orange County residents got a huge win last night, and we're going to be talking about that first. I will be diving into new information I have. Y'all have been asking about it. Visit Orlando, and exactly with the information that I've gotten from the county themselves, I will be breaking that to you. I promise you, it is nothing you've ever heard before. And finally, I am going to be breaking the information to you that you need to know about more money being wasted by downtown Orlando. Anthony, I am not talking about $10 million, $20 million, $30 million. I'm talking about close to $34 million. And you're going to be shocked what they are going to be using $34 million of taxpayer money in downtown Orlando for. That will close out our show. Each one of these topics could be our number one topic, everybody, in today's show, but it can't be, because last night we got the ruling. I shouldn't say ruling. We got feedback from the Citizen Task Force on TDT. Now, for some of you, you're going, what the heck is TDT and why did I tune into this show? All right. Tourism Development Tax. All right. This is the TDT. It's basically a tax that gets put onto every room, short-term stay that happens in Orange County. And it's 6%. The guest pays that tax. It goes into a pool. And then this money gets divvied out for various things in Orange County. The thing about it is that the money must be used for tourism or things that promote tourism. You can't use it for police and firefighters, right? And so what has happened is that this show has been vocal against how this money has continued to be used. We've been vocal against the accountability that $100 million plus of it goes to Visit Orlando, a private organization that's a nonprofit with little to no accountability to Orange County taxpayers. And we've been vocal about how other money has been spent. And so we feel very good that Mayor Demings over in Orange County had put together this board that had not met in 3 years. It's not the first time it's happened, but it's the first time it's happened in 3 years. And this board of about 30 people got together on 5 separate occasions and looked at the close to $400 million that was sitting inside of this fund. And this board said, what do we want to do with it? And then what happened is a bunch of people came before the board during these 5 meetings and said, hey, I want this sliver of the 400 million. And if you give us this money, this is what I would do with it. And everybody came and made their pitch to this board. Now, the board is not the final say in what happens with this money, but they do hold a recommendation that is public. And I'm going to walk you through what happens from this point forward. But I want to make sure we're very clear about something. We, as Orange County residents, got a huge win from this board last night. And I'll tell you, I believe it was the Orlando Sentinel, Anthony, that called it shocking. All right. And it is shocking what this board came back. And I want to say this, it is because of our viewers and people like them that are sick and tired of watching money get wasted on projects that they are not going to see any benefit from. They're tired of money getting pushed over to Lake Buena Vista, into iDrive, into these projects, and that the Orange County residents, us, we see nothing from it. We don't ever get to experience those things. We don't ever get a chance to actually get the benefits of this money, even though we have projects that could bring in tourism that could also benefit Orange County residents. It has been so slim, the amount of money that has been given over to Orange County. And I say the county being the people that live in the county, and also the surrounding counties that could benefit from it. And so before this board were so many things that have big price tags that were put forth, in my opinion, by hotel executives and park executives and tourism, and they wanted all the money to keep on flooding to them. And this board said, not so freaking fast. And I love it, everybody. So like I said, the Giants came asking for money. $975 million, the Orlando Dreamers baseball stadium. $750 million, Dr. Phillips Center for expansion. $523 million, Orange County Convention Center phase 2. $256 million, the Kia Center renovation. $119 million, UCF sports facilities. There were a lot of these that came forward. But the task force recommended 12 projects, and I think you're going to see that there is a theme within these 12 projects, and then I'm going to jump into exactly what I think about them. They did say the Dr. Phillips Center, theater expansion, parking, amphitheater. That's the one project they backed. The big project, I should say. Dr. Phillips Charity, $60 million for the Eatonville Museum of Culture and History. Florida Citrus Sports, $54 million for a Camping World parking garage and events center. City of Ocoee, a training and conference center. Eatonville Redevelopment Agency. A county ecotourism grant and the Arts and Cultural Affairs program. Creative City Project Immerse Festival. A children's museum and winter garden. And a nature center in Lake Apopka. Now, I want to be very clear. Do I think I would use almost all of any of these? No, I don't think I'd use any of these besides maybe two. But here's what I love, and I don't want people to get caught up on why are we funding a children's museum and winter garden? Don't fall for that, okay? What I want you to focus on is what is the theme that backs all 12 of these projects? They are local and will benefit local residents. This board came back, Anthony, and they said enough of spending our money on things that we as residents are not going to benefit from regularly. We believe there is tourism that can come into Orlando, not Lake Buena Vista, into our cities, our surrounding cities, not over there to all the tourists and or all the attractions. And they're saying, you know what? You guys are doing just fine. You've got your record numbers that you all are touting over there. And you know, we're tired of it. We need help on the Orlando side. And Orange County residents finally realized that. And I love what this task force put together because it screams to all of those hotel executives. It screams to all of those tourism executives and everybody at Visit Orlando who sits on that board that, hey, you know what? This money that you all have been spending all throughout these years, we need to do something about it. And I could not be happier with what I am seeing right now from this board. And like I said, I'm going to walk you through in a second that we're not at the finish line or even close to it. All right. But it's the first step to residents saying enough is enough. And we're tired of seeing the money that is generated from our county go into projects that we can't use. And so I'll tell you, Anthony, one of the ones that I like on here, and people I love the parking garage on this one. Oh, it's a parking garage. No, it's just not a parking garage. What it is a safer place for people to park and attend events. What it is bridging the gap by a just short block right there between the stadiums that we have, like Orlando City and Camping World, and the downtown area we need to connect everything to. It is more than a parking garage, okay? It's people that say, I'm going to go to an event because I don't feel like I'm going to be harassed as I go to that event. There is real benefit to be used here with the TDT money for this. This is what helps a community grow, is when more people want to go attend events because you have parking for that event. Now, there will be people who push back on me, and that's fine. But I see a benefit in this for the community, and more importantly, all of us who go to an Orlando City game, or you go to a Camping World game, you go to these things, you have the opportunity to now use this facility. When are you going to use something that's on iDrive? All right. How many of you are going to the Orlando Convention Center? All right. We're not as Orange County residents, but yet the taxes and everything are coming from Orange County. And so I'm so happy to see that a board of our people said no more. This is going to be checked. We don't like it going to this, and we don't feel our money is being used wisely. One of the things on that shopping block, the convention center, $523 million, rejected, everybody. I freaking love it. And you know what? I love what they said about it. Sergio Alvarez, 2 weeks ago, his quote, his quote regarding the convention center, quote, "It cost us an arm and a leg, and it continues to cost us an arm and a leg." Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. We couldn't agree more. Because here's what I think. Visit Orlando is not in charge of the convention center. Visit Orlando is in charge of one thing, marketing and advertising for the convention center. We already have phase 1 underway. Now you're asking for more money. Here is what I would say. I am a small business that I run separately from this show. I understand what small businesses are faced with every single day. You've got to sell harder, do more with less, and you've got to make sure you deliver a better product for your clients. And that begins with your people. And so what I would ask of these organizations, oh no, what are we going to do? We have the 3rd largest convention center there is in the country. It's just fine. Go sell it better. All right. And what's going to help you sell it better is a better Orlando, a better Orange County. That makes us all better. What doesn't make it better is pouring more money. And as Mr. Alvarez said here, costing us an arm and a leg, which is what he said, and then continuing to pour more money into it while people just have their hands out like this. And Orange County residents are back here going, when do we get a seat at the table around here, everybody? Well, we got our seat at the table finally, and fellow Orange County residents actually stuck up for what we believe that money should be used for. And Anthony, I'll leave it to you because I could not be happier about what I see from this task force that was put together by Mayor Dimmings. Thank you, Mayor Dimmings, for putting this together because I didn't have a lot of hope for it. First time in 3 years, very happy to see what I saw right here, Anthony.
Yeah, I love this so much too. And we got a comment too on Facebook, which I'm going to put up on the screen.
Talk to me.
Randy Ross said, time to lobby for TDT dollars to focus more on the transportation infrastructure that actually reflects Orlando, Orange County functions. Basically transportation from Orlando International Airport to the I-Drive corridor, anything like that, like downtown, all that stuff. Kind of like similar to like how Vegas is. And I love this because like honestly,
what's this guy's name?
Randy Ross.
Thanks, Randy. I appreciate it.
Because we don't have it's weird to think we don't have a way from getting from downtown to the airport. There's zero way. Like you got Sunrail down and that's about it. You can't really get a train from one spot to there. So I love that, and we should definitely do more.
Yes.
For that.
So what people, and Randy makes a good point. We have to start lobbying for it, right? Mm-hmm. Right now, that isn't possible because Randy astutely pointed out we have to use it for tourism development, right? Advertising for it. That's the Visit Orlando wing, the marketing side, or you have to do infrastructure for it. And the way that they're doing something like a parking garage is that's infrastructure for something like an Orlando City, somewhere like that, people to come in and see a concert, whatever it might be down there. Okay, cool. Great. It's a step in the right direction is what I'm showing. Excuse me. It's a step in the right direction, which is what I'm showing here. And I love it. And Randy's right. This is that first step for us going, hold on. As Orange County residents, this ain't right. And if there's anyone in the state who can lead TDT reform, it is Orange County because we bring in more of it than I think everyone else combined. If you want to fact check me on that one, but I believe Orange County brings in more TDT dollars than every other county in Florida combined. And Anthony's going to check me on this one right now. And the reason I point this out is because it's our time as Orange County to step up and go, yeah, no, we're not dealing with this anymore. We should have the most beautiful county that there is in the entire state. Talk to me.
Yep. Orange County plus the most of any county in Florida.
Any county in Florida. I bet, what about all counties combined?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, do we bring in more than all counties combined? I mean, that might be a huge number, but I mean, I know we're the most of any county in Florida. And I want people to think about that. Drive down I-4. Wouldn't it be nice if we could start using money that we are getting from the tourism that we have in our county? And wouldn't it be nice for Seminole? Wouldn't it be nice for Lake and Osceola? All the counties that surround us right here, Brevard. Because what happens is when you raise up Orange County and you raise up Orlando, it raises up everybody else. And I'm going to tell you what would happen is that private industries would find a way to make it work. They would. And yes, there will be a Visit Orlando with their advertising and marketing budget. I understand there needs to be people who come to the convention center. I'm not a moron about it. But what I am saying is when everybody continues to have their hand out, we as a county, as small business owners, a nonprofit that's out there, whatever it might be, sometimes you're forced to do more with less. But what if we could start to invest more into our community? What if the possibility was there in Orlando and Orange County were to lead the way in having TDT reform? That is a possibility that I feel very, optimistic about when I see something like this, Anthony, with citizens saying, no, enough of these big projects. Let's get money reinvested back into our local cities and our local communities. I feel like I'm a Democrat or something right now, but I mean this. Like, this is common sense to me. When are we going to face up to the fact we have a broken system, right? We've been given more and more money to all of this tourism boards for too long. And they've been taking millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. What has that got in Orange County? Orange County residents, how are you feeling about that? If you're like me, you're pissed off. And if you are, then go ahead and just take our win right now. Take our win. Now, the battle is far from over, Anthony, but this one right here is a big win as I tell people exactly what's going to happen next in this entire thing, brother. So we have our big win. 32 members get together. They give their ruling. That is the citizen task force that Mayor Demings put together in Orange County. There were a lot of different people on there, and given there were some hotel and lodging association people, they went ahead and gave their 12 recommendations last night. Good. Check. Now, here's what a lot of people don't realize. Now, we move on to the Tourist Development Council. This is like the middle stop. It's a 9-member board that is chaired by Demings himself. State law requires that 3 of those seats go to hotel owners who collect the tax itself. That's the TDT side. Plus more tourism industry seats. Buddy Dyer also sits on the board. Don't forget, he's got that $256 million project he wants for the Kia Center. Citizen recommendations must pass through a board. The law stacks with hotel and tourism executives. All right. This right here, this middle section that we have and where it goes right now, this Tourism Development Council that nobody even knows exists. This is where the lobbying is about to happen, everybody. I want everyone to be clear. It's not going to be on the 25th of August when we're going to go to commissioners, which I'm going to discuss next. And that one's going to be very public and we're going to be on top of it. Right now is the key portion. And it's why this show, you as our audience, must be louder than ever right now. Because what is happening behind closed doors, let me give it to you. Right now, the people who took a licking last night from this task force, our Orange County residents, the 32 of them that were on there, they're going, well, the game ain't over yet. We're still in this thing. We need to get in front of the Tourism Development Council. If they sound like they're the same, it's because all these names just sound like they're exactly the same. So I think it's confusing to everybody. They're going to be looking at that. This is the time between August 11th, last night when the recommendations came down, and August the 25th, when county commissioners are going to vote, that all of the lobbying is going to happen. This is where the luncheons are going to happen. The phone calls are going to happen. People want to get in front of commissioners. People want to talk. And what do we want to do? What are the recommendations going to be? Here, let's go out for a drink. This is where there's a lot of things that are going to be happening in the next 2 weeks. And they're going to be done behind closed doors. Not on this show. No. Not on this show. We will be very vocal about it. And unlike the rest of them, we will be public about it. And I want people to know how important and critical this is to Orange County. Because everyone hides behind this veil of not understanding how government works. We're breaking it down for you real quick. Citizen Advisory Board, they give their recommendation. Now, Tourist Development Council, 9 members, they're going to give their recommendation. And then August the 25th, county commissioners will give their vote. 7 votes, everybody, will go down on August the 25th to decide where this money goes. Everything else before that is just recommendations. So 32 member recommendations. Then we've got the Tourist Development Council with 9 people giving theirs. And then we get our 7 votes from county commissioners, including Mayor Demings. We have got a long road ahead of us for the next 2 weeks. But right now, the first board did the right thing. Now, the next board is stacked, everybody. I mean, I wrote it down right here. You have 6 of the people of the 9 are from tourism. One of them is Buddy Dyer, who he's already got his own agenda for the city of Orlando. That's the Kia Center that he's got on the chopping block. 1 from Demings and 1 is appointed. So it is stacked with tourism. So I do not expect that this board number 2, as I would call them, I don't expect them to make the same recommendations that citizens of Orange County made. They're going to try to swing the pendulum back the other way and put pressure on commissioners to move forward and do their bidding for the tourism industry over there. And I want to be clear. I don't have a problem with the tourism industry, Anthony. No issue with it. I understand the tourism industry is what pushes Orange County. It's what pushes Florida for people to come here. I understand the millions of visitors who are made, their lives are made happier by coming here and the great experiences they have thanks to our tourism departments. I'm not oblivious to any of that. But I'm also saying that where I live, in the places where we go in Orange County, and the residents who make that possible should benefit from TDT dollars. That person who cleans the room should also be able to go down and park and go to an Orlando City game or wherever they're going down there in a parking garage that feels safe. It has to benefit everybody, not just more money being funneled into tourism executives who sit on these darn boards. And believe me, I will be looking for these people by name, all right? Because this board is stacked for tourism. No wonder it's called the Tourist Development Council. What do you expect them to vote on? Of course, they're going to vote for the money to go to things that they believe are going to funnel money into the people that are the hotel executives and the park executives, because they're the ones that are footing the bills. Come on, everyone. But let's have transparency into how this goes. Recommendation, vote from commissioners. And that we're in the middle right now where lobbying is happening effective right now. The calls are happening right now.
I feel like you can draw like a big line between Orlando, like from the north side to like the south side of like the tourist part, and then the regular part. And so I feel like with this recommendation, it's been great because they're taking a lot of the parts at all their south section for the tourist part and moving it more north to like help out the north end of like the citizens part, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And there's a couple different areas where I could draw the line between what is the tourism side of Orlando and what is the attraction, or the attraction side, and what is actual Orlando. Yeah. I don't care about where the lines are that somebody draws on a map. Let's talk about how Orange County residents really feel. And it's one of 2 places. All right, I'd love to know from our audience, where do you draw the line when you enter like resident Orlando versus tourism Orlando? And I look at either one of 2 places, right? It's either 1, the turnpike on I-4, or 2, it's that bridge that goes right there from Millennium Mall.
Yeah, the Conway.
Where it says Orlando over it. It's either one of those 2 that you draw the line, in my opinion. I tend to want to do the one that says Orlando across the bridge. That's when you're going under it, coming from Tampa to Orlando. It's the bridge that goes right there next to Mall Millennia. And you go underneath that one. I always kind of look at that as like, now we're in the area where residents go, because there will be people who come here, go to Mall Millennia because there's some nice shops and restaurant, or not shops and stores there. It's like some high-end stuff. So I still kind of consider that to be kind of tourism. But then when you get to the other side of that bridge, you're in resident area. Because then you keep on going down on the left-hand side, you got that Harley Davidson store and that Carvana tower that sticks up. And I'm like, here we go. And then the other side is Sunshine State Law and the billboard. I'm like, oh, we're back in regular Orlando now. And then you keep on going down that road. There's nothing on either side of it. And then you kind of get into downtown Orlando and you get underneath there, like South Street exit. And then you're in Orlando for all of about 45 seconds to a minute and you're out of Orlando. And then you start moving into Winter Park and that side. But I've always looked at that cutoff, Anthony, as being kind of like that bridge where there is underneath I-4 for Mall Millennium.
I think so too.
But some people might say, hey, it's a little bit further up there where you go underneath the turnpike, that turnpike side.
Yeah.
Because right after that turnpike, you've got, what is it? I would say Kirkland or Kirkman Road, not Kirkland because it's not the store. Kirkman Road. And then you start to go into all the others like iDrive, Universal, that whole thing right there. And then you get down to 528, all that. So I really feel like we are starting to say as citizens, enough of this. Let's get the money back to where people who live here can use the money that we have coming in. That doesn't mean there shouldn't be any money invested into the projects like this. In fact, I really did like the project for the Orlando Dreamers. I loved it. All right. And I can go back and I can talk about everything that they recommended. And honestly, I don't like it. I don't like the recommendations personally, like each one. If I look at them individually, I'm not going to use them. They're arts. They're more like, I look at it kind of like a liberal arts degree. These are, they're not things that I would ever go enjoy in a city. But you know what they are? They're for that city. And that's a win for me. They're not for the people that's coming here from Wisconsin who's never going to go underneath that I-4 bridge and come into where we live. All right? It's for the people who live in Eatonville. It's the people who live in Apopka. It's the people who make this city and county wonderful in their own city, and they need some help too. And I'm so happy about what we see right here. And then, like I said, we've got August the 25th on camera, public roll. What are you going to vote for, city commissioners? What are you going to do? I can't wait for them to put their name to this. What are you going to put money towards? It's going to say a lot about these commissioners, and we will hold them accountable on this show to their vote. Do you care more about giving that money back into tourism, back into those people that are the big execs at the parks and the hotels, maybe that are paying for your campaigns over there? Or do you care more about Orange County residents and the lives they have to live every single day and making their lives better? County commissioners are going to have a choice on August the 25th, what they decide to do. And it will be on television. We will be watching it, and we will hold them accountable, and so should this county. I'm so happy, Anthony, about what I see from residents, but man, am I so concerned about what is happening behind closed doors right now, brother.
Me too. Yeah.
Boy,
but this is this is a big step in the right direction. So I'm happy.
Me too. It is a step in the right direction. We got any more comments right there? I love that one from our brother over there.
Someone just asked, can the residents of Orlando have a say or vote on where the money goes to make Orlando better?
It's a great question. And the answer is yes, by voting for commissioners who are going to openly say, we are not going to continue to fund these projects at this level. So you have to vote. You have to get involved at the commissioner level who make these decisions at Orange County. And so the answer is we can't as citizens, but hopefully we can put people into office who can help us. I love what this guy says, Andre. We need experienced business leaders who know how to do more with less. Bro, yeah, I know that. Man, in my business that I have, I've got to do more with less all the time, right? I mean, Anthony, you saw me this morning, man. I had to go buy some waters this morning. Man, I'm buying the $1.29 waters. I ain't buying like the $1.55 ones at 7-Eleven. I got to, because I was buying them for the team. And we're saving every cent that we got around here. And you know why I do that, man? Because it's the money belongs to the company, okay? Like, and I own that company over there. And so for me, I look at it like I'm not going to go wasting it. Now, if it wasn't my money, if it wasn't the money, like we weren't generating, it was just in the fund somewhere, would I really care about that 30 cents a water? Probably not. All right. That's where you need, as he said, private business owners to come in who understand this is what the life that we all have. And it seems like government doesn't seem to ever get that. I mean, we see the Orange County budget goes from $8.3 to $8.9 billion. When is somebody going to start saying the truth to Orange County and surrounding counties and go, well, we can't keep growing and giving and giving and giving to everybody. In the meantime, Amendment 3 is set to cut how much money comes in, but everybody wants. Give me. We need leaders, like he just pointed out, who understand how to make difficult decisions. Difficult decisions are walking into a department and saying, there are 400 people in the clerk of court office. 50 of you are going. We're making cuts. And we're going to find a way to do more with less, because that is what the county or the city deserves. You can't continue to raise budgets all the time so everybody gets everything that they want. I'm watching right now Democrats out there that are running for office, and I see their videos, and we need health care for all. It's a right that people have. Yeah, sure. It's a right if you can pay for it. I mean, it's not these rights that people think that they have. No, there's a budget that has to be made. And these are difficult decisions that small business owners have to make all the time. But when you have the luxury of being within politics, you don't have to make decisions like that, because they don't affect you. They affect the budget that's out there. And we need people that are going to say, nah, tough decisions need to be made. I would have so much respect, Anthony, if I had a politician that one day stepped in front of us and said, yep, I'm going to cut jobs and fire people, because we need to cut jobs and fire people. People will lose their jobs. We are going to make cuts. Government will become smaller under me. And in fact, I will make less money myself. And I expect other people to start making sacrifices in their departments. And we will do that from day one. Oh, I would look across and go, how do you plan to do that? And then they would go, well, I'm going to start by looking at each individual department. I'm going to look at what that individual is bringing to the department. And then I'm going to find that there are 3 people that are doing the exact same job that one person can do if we implemented technology and taught that person, and they were educated on how to better use their time more efficiently with AI and tech. Oh, so you just cut jobs? Yeah. Would you become more efficient? Yes. Cool. That seems to make sense to me. Next. This is not difficult, but nobody wants to upset another person in our government because they're afraid their voting bloc is going to be upset by the fact that they decide that they're going to make a cut. I see all these politicians, Anthony, out there when they post their news. I follow a lot of them right now, and it's the most BS stuff I've ever seen. They do like dancing videos, and they do this crap where they don't talk about anything. Oh, we're talking about the Bright Line today, and let's just have a nice, rosy conversation about that. It's just fun. Everything's always fun. Nobody stands for nothing. So on this show, we stand against the people abusing TDT money to just continually go towards things that Orange County residents are not going to be able to benefit from on a regular basis. And if that means you're a tourism executive on some board, or you run some hotel, or you run a park, doesn't mean that we don't support you. We know the value that you bring. But what we do want is we want residents to start seeing benefits right now and stop all those benefits going to the people that need to learn to do more with less, just like all of us in Orange County have had to do, and every other small business owner that known to mankind. Can't stand it. Like we're all there, man. We all know we are. Go ahead.
You ready for this transition?
Talk to me.
You know who's abusing the TDT money?
Who's that?
Visit Orlando.
I love the transition. I love the transition.
Yeah,
all right, we have breaking news, everybody, because I told you that I would hold Visit Orlando accountable, and I am holding them accountable. One of the things that I discussed, let me first of all give the backstory, everyone. I have done many segments about Visit Orlando. I do not believe that they are being held accountable to the money that they receive from the tourist development tax. We just went over that tourism development tax of almost $400 million. They have earmarked $100 million a year approximately through 2028 to go to Visit Orlando, a private nonprofit. They are not run by the county. They are not run by the city of Orlando in any way. They are a private nonprofit with a contract through 2028 with the county that is taking in approximately $100 million a year from the county, from that TDT tax. It makes up approximately 90% of their revenue. Their job is to market and be the advertising wing to get people to, quote, visit Orlando, hence the name, everyone. That's it. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this organization that brings in $100 million, you would think they have some oversight, right? Who is like Orange County is overseeing this entire thing? Well, from everything that we could gather, not a lot of oversight and accountability happen on these people. because they're a private organization. And so I have them over here. We looked at the register of the checks that they're writing. You don't have any detail about them at all. You have checks that are going to media companies and marketing companies that are not in the state of Florida. You just, I don't know, millions of dollars. Now, what are we getting for that millions of dollars? I don't know. I don't know what we're getting, Anthony. Nobody really knows. Fadaji. Look, we have record numbers over here. We do this. So we're doing our job over with Visit Orlando. I don't think so. I think you could probably go to the new Moana movie that might be doing its job. Maybe Epic Universe that might be doing its job. Not the advertising from Visit Orlando that's doing its job. I've said before, no family is sitting in Kentucky and looks at their television to a Visit Orlando ad and goes, damn, honey, did you know there were some theme parks in Orlando? Maybe we should go check it out sometime. That's not them. It's they go to the Moana movie and decide they want to go to Orlando. They don't go to the Visit Orlando website to make that happen. What they do is they go to Marriott. They start looking at vacations and they come down here and they have themselves a nice vacation, never once thinking about Visit Orlando or any of the advertising dollars that are being pushed that way, in my opinion. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, where is the accountability for the millions and millions of dollars that this organization is spending on a regular basis? All right, didn't seem to be much. But one thing I did figure out is that they have to have a public meeting that has to be posted. One meeting every single year. So I went to Orange County and I said, okay, Orange County, you're telling me that these people have to have one public meeting that has to be posted. All right, where is it? I talked to Phil Diamond, the comp controller. He wasn't sure where that meeting was posted. I couldn't find it online. I had to go to a different individual in Orange County who sent me last year's meeting notice. All right. Now, it was posted in December, and I want to give the meeting was in December. Let's see here, December 4th, 2025. And I want to just give you a quick timeline before I break this down for everybody. First, November 25th, the notice was received by the county. The 26th of November, the notice was posted. December 4th, the meeting happens. Get this, 3 to 5 p.m. on a Thursday. And where does that public meeting happen, everybody? Anthony, all at once? Isleworth Golf and Country Club. Ooh, if you can see this, everyone, here is the notice, 2025, less than a year ago, the last meeting publicly posted by Visit Orlando is at Isleworth Golf and Country Club. I want to pause right there for everyone to take that in for a minute. For those of you who live in Orange County, this nonprofit, this is the notice that I was given by Orange County. It was not provided by some source, anything. Orange County provided this notice. Isleworth, members only club, invitation only, guarded gates in Windermere, the likes of which Tiger Woods and Bubba Watson live in there, millionaires and billionaires. This is where Visit Orlando has their meeting. That nonprofit taking in $100 million of taxpayer money, Isleworth Golf and Country Club right there. Let me ask you this, Orange County residents. How many of you knew about that one? And how many of you think that when you showed up to Isleworth, on December the 4th, if you would have been let in? Or maybe, just maybe, Visit Orlando, this is the problem you have with your messaging with people in Orange County, because you're a nonprofit that is supposed to represent the interests that bring in the most money from visitors for people of Orange County. You're not supposed to be having, in my opinion, your meetings at the most exclusive country club that people in Orange County don't have access to. This is right now. You want to, and so Visit Orlando, if you have a problem with me, look at your own marketing. Isleworth. Have you ever tried to get in there? I have. How many residents have you drove by Isleworth over there in Windermere? It's the huge walls, the big guard gates that you have right there. And that's where Visit Orlando posted that their meeting was going to be. They gave all of about a 10-day notice right there, 3 to 5 p.m. on a Thursday. Welcome, everybody, to how Visit Orlando does business. Right here. You want to know where they posted it? On a bulletin board. There you go. Let me read you what the statute says, everybody. Florida Statute 286.011 says public meetings cannot be held at facilities that discriminate based on economic status or unreasonably restrict public access. The Florida Attorney General's office said in opinion 9655 that making people show ID and ask permission to enter a meeting chills the public's willingness to attend. Isn't that exactly what a guard gate is supposed to do? Now, even in the off chance, Anthony, that Visit Orlando made some kind of concession with the Isleworth security, who here believes that if public was notified and 100 people decided to show up to Isleworth and decided to come in the gates of a private country club, that they would be permitted to come in? You would have to have the brain of a squirrel to believe that that would have to be the case. That would be my personal opinion. And I think every reasonable adult that was out there would understand that. But this is where the accountability side of Visit Orlando is non-existent. I had to go through 2 levels, Anthony, to get this form right here. And nobody actually could tell me online where it was posted, but I was told it was posted to a bulletin board in some building 10 days before the meeting that happened in the afternoon that nobody knew about at the most prestigious private golf and country club with access that is denied to most common Orange County residents. That is exactly what we got from Visit Orlando right here. So Visit Orlando, you're a marketing and advertising wing of the TDT. Well, for Orange County. So you're the marketing and advertising wing for Orange County's TDT funds. Don't you see a problem with the messaging? That would be my message and my question to them. Not that, okay, is there anything illegal about what you're doing? No, there's nothing illegal here. But what I do understand is that if I'm an Orange County resident, do I want the nonprofit that's taking in 90% of their money from Orange County to be having their meeting once a year that I'm supposed to be able to know about behind the biggest walls that they have in Orange County and the most, well, you would say the highest security that is there privately, the highest private security? No, no one wants that. And so you as well, this is why for me is, you know, if you want to come after me like I'm the pro, I can't believe you're attacking them. All you do is attack them. This is why. It's because of the optics. It's because what it looks like to people. So don't get on to me if you're Visit Orlando when you're holding your meetings and it's the Visit Orlando Board of Directors at the Isleworth Golf Club. Don't tell me that. This isn't right. And so for me, I'm looking at this and I want people to understand, why do we believe that the board that we talked about in segment 1 is such a powerful win? It's because the people that are accepting TDT money, they're doing things like this, and there hasn't been accountability for these individuals because I had to jump through hoops just to get this right here. Now, the people who I dealt with, by the way, I want to say this, very nice people, all right? They were wonderful in sending this over to me from the county, but that doesn't mean I had to find it, explain what I wanted, and get this sent over, and then open it and go, Isleworth Golf Club, Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. Wonder how many Orange County residents could go to something like that. Wonder how accountable these people feel like they are. I mean, was there not like, I don't know, the Performing Arts Center wasn't available? Maybe like, I don't know, just a Marriott Courtyard? No. What it screams to me is what probably happened is sitting on that board are a bunch of people that are high ups over in the tourism world, probably live over in Isleworth, and said, no one's going to come to this thing anyway. Let's just go ahead and hold the board meeting down the street from me at the Golf and Country Club, and then afterwards we can walk over to the bar, maybe have ourselves a little drink. That's what it sounds like to me. And I don't think that many Orange County residents would think anything differently if they looked at this. It pisses me off, Anthony, and it should piss off everybody in Orange County. And if you're Visit Orlando, maybe it's time you looked at yourself at the optics that you provide to the public, because the optics are what matters sometimes. You're an advertising and marketing agency. You understand that better than anybody. And so this right here, this is where accountability starts. And I want people who watch our show to ask questions and go, nah, that ain't right. And it's not right, Anthony. And that is why I will bring attention to this. And I think that Visit Orlando needs to give answers to why they're holding their meeting at Isleworth Golf and Country Club. Tell me why it was necessary to go to the most prestigious private golf and country club with the highest level of security for entry for a nonprofit to have their annual public meeting. Tell me why that is necessary. And then tell me that you have the best interest of Orange County money at heart. You're not looking out for anybody other than Orange County residents and what's best for the tourism here in the county. Tell me that. No, you can't. I can't accept that. Not when I see the optics like this. And my goal, Anthony, in all of this is that finally they wake up and they go, hold on. You know what? That was wrong. We're a private organization. We can have our meeting wherever we want. There's nothing illegal about that. We can do that. We can say there's nothing illegal. But does that mean it's right? Just because something is not illegal doesn't mean that it's right. And so I think that this is where you're a marketing and advertising agency. Step up and say, we were wrong. We made a mistake to have a public meeting that was noticed 10 days before at Isleworth Golf and Country Club. That's all I'm asking for is accountability. And you know what? If it was me, I've done it before on this show, and I'll do it again. I make mistakes, all right? I make mistakes. And if I do, I will apologize for the mistake that I make if it's a mistake. Hey, Visit Orlando, this is a mistake. All you have to do to gain trust is to go in to say, you know what, that wasn't good optics right there. Our goal was X, Y, and Z, and we missed it. We missed the ball on that one, all right? We tried. We swung and we missed. We won't let it happen again. Okay, cool, moving on. But they don't expect anybody to find this stuff. It gets buried onto a bulletin board, and then it's like, oh, we made the public notice here. You can see down in the very corner down there, everybody, 11/26/25. All right, that's when it was posted, 11/26/25, for when a December the 4th meeting between 3 and 5 p.m. at Isleworth Golf and Country Club, the most private and prestigious golf and country club in Central Florida. You're welcome, Orange County. Now shut up and let them do whatever they want to do.
And Xavier said it better, and the taxpayers are paying for it.
Xavier with the mic drop. Xavier. Oh, man. I'm just jealous I didn't think of the line myself. I'm not going to steal it from him. Exactly, bro. Like, are we waking up yet, everybody? Is everyone seeing the pattern yet? Advisory board in the beginning, 32 people say, nah, enough of this. This ain't going right. You've got the advertising and marketing wing of Orange County for tourism development taxes having their meetings at Isleworth 10 days after they post it into a private golf and country club. Is anybody getting the point yet? Like, are we starting to see a pattern here, everyone, between how government works in Orange County? Are we starting not to see that? Anthony, I think we're making this thing pretty darn clear.
Yeah.
Now, I'm open to being wrong, all right? There's nothing I'm saying in here that is fact, except for what I am reading from Orange County. Now, I can make my inferences about what this means, and I'm hoping that Visit Orlando will come out and take accountability. If they do, I will come on to this show and I will go, we're stepping in the right direction, Visit Orlando. I've also asked, and I said this before, I will be on this show angry about what I see, but I'm open to being wrong and always having a conversation. Therefore, if Visit Orlando, I have put the offer out there publicly, would like to have a representative, C-suite and above, that would like to come here and have a conversation with us about how their money is being used, we want that conversation, that dialogue, because we believe it is the right thing for Orange County residents to get answers directly from the organization that is taking in $100 million of TDT money generated by the hard work of Orange County residents. This is what we're after in the end. And answers to stuff like this and accountability to stuff like this, not our half-ass answers, but real accountability. And this is where it starts. It starts with the public noticing a pattern and goes, maybe this doesn't seem like it's right. The optics of this are wrong. What else we got, Anthony? Anything?
No, I think you said it perfectly right there.
Hey, I love it, everybody. Now, our final segment. Now, like I said, any of these segments that we had here could have easily been our number one segment. All right, we could have just reversed this one right here, because I'll tell you, this is extremely unique. What if I told you the city of Orlando is about to waste $34 million underneath I-4? You'd probably think I was crazy, but I'm not. The project is called the Canopy. And on Monday, the Orlando City Council gave its final approval to break ground on a 10-acre space beneath I-4. Let me repeat that. The Orlando City Council gave its final approval to break ground on a 10-acre space beneath Interstate 4. Yeah, under an interstate, everybody. We're going to spend $34 million. I want to tell you a breakdown what's going under I-4 so that when you see those shovels hit the ground, and I'm sure the city's going to do some great photo op underneath an interstate, that you know what you're getting for $34 million. So the first two things are the only things that we need under I-4. 300 parking spaces and rideshare pickup and drop-off zones. That's where it should have stopped. A couple of $1 million and get us some cameras, get us some lighting over there, and parking spaces and rideshare pickup so that people can actually be able to move between downtown and their home. But wait for the rest of it, all right? Ooh. Then you get public restrooms, a festival and event space decorated with artificial metal trees, digital projection mapping across the entire site, lights, sounds, and graphics, immersive lighting displays, public art installations, bicycle path and pedestrian walkways, sports courts and play areas, and lush landscaping. That is actually the way that they put it, underneath a concrete overpass. There's no sun, everybody, that gets beneath it. When we talk about lush landscaping, think turf is what we're looking at there. The person in charge of this is no other than a man by the name of David Barilla. Now, he's not some junior city planner. He is actually the executive director of Downtown Development Board and the Community Redevelopment Agency. He runs Downtown Orlando's redevelopment money, and this is one of 14 projects that he's working on at a total cost of $160 million, part of the Downtown Action Plan. How's that working out for you? And let me tell you what he said about this. This is just this week, and I want to quote this individual so that you can just see how absurd this is. The entire, quote, the entire area in there will also be kind of digitally mapped, so it can all be activated, with colors and sounds and graphics, even to celebrate things. Oh my gosh. In February, he promised the projections would make a different space every day. Just so you're aware, we bonded $30 million in the city of Orlando. Basically means we borrowed the money. Another 3.75 is coming from the Florida Department of Transportation. That's about the $34 million price tag that I'm talking about right there. And as I said, a complete waste of money. Because how many of you are like, finally, under I-4 is going to be such a great area for a park? Because you know what? We really want to bring my family to the playground underneath I-4. I really can't wait for that. I'm sure those public restrooms underneath the interstate are going to work out really well. I can't see anything that's going to go wrong with that plan. Oh, I'm sure that those benches and the walking path under I-4 is exactly where people are going to want to go walk. Everyone's going to get together on their Saturday morning and go, look, honey, it's a beautiful morning. Why don't we go park under I-4 and make a little stroll? Said nobody ever, and nobody ever will. But you know what? David Barilla says there's going to be some lights and some projections, so everybody get excited, because the parking spaces and rideshare wasn't enough. We need to invest $34 million in a fake park underneath I-4. And by fake, I mean we're talking metal trees, everyone. Metal trees. Because why? Real trees don't grow under concrete. Newsflash, everybody. But that's something I guess that city planners are like, yeah, this is the right move to make. I can't wait to develop this area under I-4 with $34 million. And it's going to be more than that because we bonded $30 million of it, which means that we borrowed it. So we're going to have to pay back on that. What a joke. Like, $34 million to build a fake park with fake trees underneath an interstate and expect people to go there. There's only one reason that people would go underneath I-4, and it used to be there, which was a parking lot. So put the parking lot back, make it a better parking lot, make a nice little loop right there where people who are using rideshare programs can get picked up, and the problem is solved, and another 30 million of the 34 million can go to something else. Insanity how the city of Orlando is planning to spend money. If you add that plus the project on Church Street, we are looking, everyone, at $48 million in that little area between, you've got Church Street and then the area right there kind of makes a T right there underneath I-4. Congratulations, City of Orlando. Way to waste more people's money on a useless project. And I mean, I can't wait to see what the brainiac David Barilla decides to do next. He's got what, 14 projects? Boy, if this is the one that he came up with and the one that he's putting forward, good luck selling that to Orlando. I can't wait to see the groundbreaking for this like they did for Church Street, Anthony. Let's put some shovels in the ground underneath a noisy I-4 with cars and traffic and oil and gas smells. Let's put a park underneath there, because the problem we don't have is homeless. And if we just put that, I'm sure we'll prevent the homeless problem that nobody wants to address. Yeah. If you hear the sarcasm in my voice, it's because it's absolutely ridiculous. Who looks at this? Who does this? Who says this is a good spend of money? And I mean, I don't know this guy from anybody, David Barilla. I don't know. I guess he's got these projects. Maybe he inherited this and now he's got to go out and he's got to pitch it because it's part of his job to get Buddy Dyer's Parks Initiative pushed through. And he's got to sit there because he's got a boss like everybody else. I'll give the man the benefit of the doubt that maybe he's got some brains to him. But my opinion about this is, how you pitching this one, brah? How are you pitching a park under I-4 as anything more than a waste of money, like any typical Orange County resident would do? Anyone would look at this and go, what are we thinking? I mean, it's insanity to me, Anthony. Now, by the way, this project was supposed to happen a long time ago, everybody. It was back in February 2024. They revealed the project. Of course, back in that time, we saw all of those beautiful artist renditions of this park. But of course, like typical Orlando, nothing ever happened. Even in May 2025, the contractor approved it. And in 2026, they finally got the approval. Next 60 days, they're expecting something to happen, and they're expecting it to be completed by the end of 2027. But this all started back in February of 2024. So we're 18 months ago about when it started. Who knows if anything's actually ever going to get built? But I mean, we're looking at metal trees, fake grass, all under a freeway. There's even talks about putting offices of some kind underneath there. I mean, it's like, what do we tear up the cement, put down a parking lot, make a nice little roundabout where people can go in there and they can pick up for rideshare, and the problem is solved. Move on. We don't need to have a big park under I-4. I feel like if we were going to go vote for the stupidest city projects in all of the country, Orlando would win it with this one. I would I'd give the presentation. It'd be a board, and it's voting for the dumbest projects in all of the country. And I would say, I've got ours. In Orlando, we are planning to put a park under an interstate in a city that has a homeless problem. Anybody? Who's going to beat that?
What could go wrong?
What could go? I mean, I would just tell the board, I would say, what do you think? I mean, does that win for the dumbest city project in all of the country? And the board would probably be like, yeah, it's going to be tough to beat park under the interstate in city that has homeless problem. You telling me are they putting down real grass? No. Fake grass like turf and metal trees. Ooh, that's going to make it even tougher. No bathrooms, no public restrooms too. Whew, man, this guy's just making a best case that he can make right now. All right. Okay, and you say it's under I-4, right? Yeah. Walkways and bike paths too for I-4? Oh, winner. This guy's got it. Dumbest project in the entire country goes for Orlando. It wouldn't even take much. I swear, Anthony, sometimes I just look at how this county is run, and I think most people do, and they go, what are we thinking? Who in their right mind sat at a boardroom? Did anyone just kind of, this is how I pictured it. They're like everyone's sitting at like a boardroom, kind of looking around as somebody made their pitch, and everyone thought that another person was going to say, nah, this isn't a good idea. But then nobody said anything. And so somehow the project got pushed through. And then everybody walked out of the meeting probably and went, did you think that was a good idea? No, I didn't think that was a good idea. Did you? No, I didn't think it was a good idea either. Like, how does this stuff even happen? Where is any kind of leadership It's just wasted $34 million. Just, there you go. Meanwhile, how many now? 20 small businesses have been forced to close their doors. We had another couple this week. I think it's 20 or 21. I'm sorry, folks. There's so many coming at us. And we're investing $34 million into metal trees underneath I-4 and digital, what is this thing called? Like digital mapping and projections. Yeah. It's so sad, man. It's so sad to see a city with such great people and such opportunity and such potential just get ruined by terrible leadership and people that they're not, Anthony, I don't believe that they're malicious. I don't think so.
They just have bad or stupid ideas. Like they or no.
Ignorant, in my opinion, is the right word. And ignorant means you don't understand. They don't understand what they're doing. I don't think they really grasp it. And I believe this with my heart. I think Buddy Dyer probably thinks it's a great idea. Mm-hmm. I think somewhere along the way, someone convinced somebody that this was a positive thing to do. And then what happens in government and happens in organizations too, like private organizations, sometimes an idea, it begins to take on such headwind that the leader doesn't know how to pump the brakes and say stop, because it gets so much momentum that you almost have to follow through with it.
I think too, from like you see the concept art, like that drawing, and it looks good. Like I see it, I'm like, oh, it looks cool.
It looks cool.
But in reality, I think we're thinking long term, it's from where it is now, it's not going to be that drawing. It's going to be something different.
It's going to be very different. You're right. Who was it? Was it Ferrari a couple of months back that came out with that electric vehicle, the electric Ferrari?
Yeah.
And I was listening to somebody talk about that, and they said, how does a product like this get produced by Ferrari? It looks like it's a Kia. Mm-hmm. Like, how can something like this ever make it through all these levels, right?
I think I saw a comment about it, and it's like the best example, best way to put it is like, it's like Rolex making a smartwatch.
Yeah.
It's not
them.
It's not them.
Okay. Well, how does that make it through probably 15 boards, right? 15 people there's so many different levels to get a car like that put together, the millions upon millions of hundreds of millions in development, everything, right? Mm-hmm. If not billions in development. What happens is that a project begins to get such headway, so much time, energy, and resources begin to get developed into a project. And that one right there, in my opinion, you don't know how to stop it. And so it becomes halfway through, and then you're like, well, I've invested so much into it, I guess we might as well finish it. And then it's 3/4 of the way, and you're like, oh my God, this thing is a disaster, but maybe we can pull something out at the end. And then you watch it roll off the line, and you go, oh no, what have we done? And you could have stopped it, but you didn't want to take the losses, and you didn't want to swallow your pride 50% of the way through. So you carried the entire thing done to completion. Yeah. And that's what I think happens when I see projects like this or Church Street, because of the bureaucracy that we have within government. And it happens all over the place. You have projects that take years and years to be able to get done. They have to go through, like I said, this one started back in 2024. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like with Church Street, when the first idea for that development of changing that thing was great, when there was businesses there and it was kind of starting to boom, I think that was when they probably started that idea. But then years later, when right now there's no businesses, it's not looking good. And I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah, it's sad, man. I agree. I'm cognizant of how long it can take for something to get done. I'm not a moron to it.
Yeah.
But we also have to have checks and balances to empower people to say, stop. Nope. This isn't the right way to use money. This is wrong. We made a mistake. Now, now you're in contracts and it's too far, whatever. You probably got all that stuff is locked up. But before that happens, someone's got to stop and go, time out. What are we doing here? And I don't think that we have that right now. And it's very clear by the projects that we see. It's very clear, by my opinion, the lack of accountability for Visit Orlando. It's very clear by how the process is going to work as we move from the task force, which is for Orlando or for Orange County citizens, into this next tourism board and see what they do. It's so clear at the very top, though, that Orange County residents are saying, nah, we don't like this. Everybody seems to be on the same page, except for the people that are making the decisions. And they don't seem to want to come out and say, you know what? We screwed up along the way, and we need to do better. We need to press a reset button in how we market this county, how we market the city. We need a government that starts to go, you know what? We made some expenditure mistakes, but we're gonna stop that now. You know what? Government has become too big. We're gonna actually fire people, and we're gonna actually hold people accountable to the money that we give them and the return that they receive. Now, right now. Like, I don't need studies and I don't need all the stuff. I mean, and that's where people get frustrated, is the bureaucracy that it takes to get all this stuff done. My hope is that today we open the eyes of some of the viewers who watch this to go, hey, there's a problem, everyone. There's a problem that we have. And it starts with accountability at all levels. We're going to do our part to try to hold people accountable. And I hope that our viewers will share this data so that Orange County can continue to understand what is happening with the money and why the city is doing what it's doing. That's all working together, everybody. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of our show right here, everyone. I'm going to look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow, Anthony. Got another big show tomorrow, of course. We'll be able to talk to everyone then. Give us feedback, comment. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us a message. Have a great rest of your Wednesday today. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Patrick Carr Show. Have a great one, everyone.